Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing Delta Green. We're them drunk blokes.
Delta Noodles.
Delta Noodles. With a boodle. Right, yeah. So what happened last time? We going to see a private eye. A private dick, one might call him. We got a body-ish, nearly, wrapped up in the back. Let's find out what happens.
Yes, let's. So you're meeting Ted Belton at Doss's Cafe at 3 p.m.
That's right.
It's 3 p.m. 4th of October. It's not 3 p.m. Sorry, it's about 2 o'clock now. 2 p.m.
We're pulling up on the gold car of Enrico Suavage.
Yes, you're on your way to find the car. So you go back to Steve's place. I think was it Steve's place?
That's right. Steve's place.
Steve's pub.
It was, yeah. Pub open. There's like a Shamrock vinyl on the window for its certificate of authenticity.
Hat wants to go in now. That wants to change back into his green tracksuit and go in.
You pull up to the road, and Enrico's car is not there.
Bum, bum, bum.
Which is a bum. That is a bum.
Assuming
you don't pull into the road, you just like eyeball it first.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll drive past.
Listen, there's a gold Mercedes with no window. If the local car thieves are not going to have it, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I kind of hope we could sweep that up, though. You know, it's best not to leave.
It's all right. He's still awake in the back. We can question him before we set him alight.
All right.
Sorry, I just wasn't paying attention then. Like, the words finally got into my brain. It's all right. We just questioned him, aren't we? Go on. Right, so it's 2 p.m.
Drive away a little bit from the bar. Pull over, consult a map, try and find a nice area that you could, like, I don't know, say, like, burn a car on a person, like, without being noticed.
Wooded area near where all the pets disappeared that we saw.
That's a bit close, man. That's a bit close.
The wooded area near where the house, which is surrounded by housing estates, yeah.
Yeah,
but it was quite a large wooded area, no?
It was quite a large wooded area. Do you want to have a sniff? So you were talking about
that's not that large, man. If we set fire to a car, people will notice.
We're in the middle of town. Unless you want to drive it off into the sea, we're pretty much screwed on that front. But I'm thinking about where you burn cars out around here or around where you are.
Yeah.
You only need it off the beaten track, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. From looking at the map, can I see it? Hang on.
Which map do you want to look at?
So you said there was like you said there was a bit of like. I remember initially when you were describing this, you said there was a bit of kind of like was it commercial or industrial stuff going on there? It wasn't just woodland.
That's right.
Correct. And it was kind of down here where there's kind of some units, like a couple of commercial units, which have been abandoned, very small square footage.
All right, going to make our way there.
And then there's a number of abandoned cars and bits and pieces down that bottom. Just kind of overgrown brush. This whole area down the bottom, when you go over there and drive around, it is far enough away from enough like built up areas to be able to, well, if you set fire to a car in there, the emergency services will come and put it out.
Yeah, well, as long as he's dead.
We want it to burn out so it destroys evidence, right?
Oh, I tell you what I could do. I don't want to, but this really funky knife that belonged to some head of the Yakuza, I could leave it in the van. We could burn him out, and then all evidence points to the yak.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, he had a couple of $100 in his wallet. I mean, it's not what it's worth, but, you know, win-win.
All right, we're going to drive there and burn the car out, right? That's up.
We're going to ask him first who he's working with, and it's probably that number that's on his phone there, the last person to ring. Do you reckon we get a GPS signal on that phone number?
Hawkins would be like the best person to like have a little look at that.
Well, I was asking Dave with his knowledge of the.
Yeah, I mean that's entirely possible. I have to make a few calls.
So yeah, maybe we ask him some questions. With like, we say we're in the middle of the desert now. Time to leave.
Yeah.
Walk home. Tell us this before you go. He doesn't. He tells us what he knows. We kill him. We burn him.
Fine. So, do you want to play that through, or is this ultimately like futile for him?
It depends. How convincing can you be, Andy?
Yeah. So basically, I would say that at this point we were arriving at our locale. Right, there is burnt-out cars, there is abandoned industrial vehicles.
Correct. Yeah.
We pull up, jump out the whip.
He doesn't know where you are. He hasn't got a clue. Although, so you open the back door. Go on.
Yeah, open the back door.
He's snapping stuff, obviously. You have to like digit and my bag, make sure everything's on us.
He's conscious. He's sat up against the back of the cab, so he's on the other, as quite far away from the front door. He's still got his hands tied up behind his back. He doesn't look quite as in bad shape as he did like an hour ago, but he's still looking pretty loose in the face.
So, pointing a gun at him, tell him to get out.
No, leave him in. Let's go in.
You want to go in?
Yeah, go in.
After you.
All right, let's get in. Hello, mate.
He's pleading now. He's like, please, let me go. Let me go.
Oh, we got to. Remember that whole walking through the desert thing we was talking about?
He's spitting like ooze now. I can't. We're not in the desert though. You're just gonna leave me here.
Well, that's the term of phrase we use. I mean, you're an experienced man. I mean, who are you working with at the minute?
Just let me go. I'll do anything. I'm not working with anyone. I don't work with anyone. Nobody.
Okay.
Just
I didn't
just
find your car keys in your thing.
You can have the car. It's yours. It's yours. You can whatever you want. You can have anything you want. Just let me go.
What do I want? The truth, Mr. Suave. The truth.
You want money? You want money? You
ain't got any money. I've taken it already. Listen to me. Listen what I am telling you, Mr. Dazed and Confused. I want the truth. Could you share the truth with me? Is that a possible thing you have?
I've told you what I know. There was something weird going on in Mill Creek.
What we know.
No one would let us know anything. You know, it's my job
to know. You see that word, Mr. Suave? The things that we know. We. Who are the we in this situation?
Just the press, just me, you know, and it kind of he mumbles.
Yeah, you're not telling me the truth again, Mr. Suave.
He chokes again and kind of like coughs up like a bit of a tooth.
Pat, maybe it was the royal we. Maybe it was like, you know.
Whose side are you on, motherfucker?
It's just me. It's just me.
Well, that's unfortunate, Mr. Suave. It really is. I kind of liked you. I don't know. How do we want to do this, Dave? You gonna shoot him or should I stab him?
He's looking at Dave now, and like he's looking at you in the face, and like, please, Dave, please help me. Help me. He's crazy. Please help me.
The only chance you got is to come clean. I can't really control him, but if you tell him the truth, maybe that will
pop the short sword like with the thumb, just so that it tings out the teeth.
There's panic in his eye now. You can really see the fear in his eye.
Enrique, please, and tell him what he wants to know, Enrique. When he gets like this, I can't control him.
I know nothing, guys. I followed you around for a bit, and you didn't go anywhere useful. And you went to the hospital, and you went to you went to Torres's estate, and You went to the house, and that was it. And I know there's a great
One
story.
more question then, Mr. Swagay, before lights out.
I know there's a great story. I'm just all about the story. Like,
I fucking knew it, Pat. He's a bum.
I go through his phone to the last message, the last phone call, and I just go, "Who's that?"
That's my producer, David.
Ah.
Don't, please, just
Well,
don't hurt him.
David his life too, Mr. Suave. Night. Produce the sword completely. Walk up as if I'm going to stab him. But I just jab him as hard as I can in the side of the head with the butt. Boom! To put him out.
Oh, blimey. Really? He was just getting started then as well. Oh, well.
Right, burn him alive. Burn him alive. Come on in.
He's alive. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, siphon some inflammable or what from the tank. Make sure it's on him.
I'm going to wipe down the interior of the cab, even though we're burning it. I'm just trying to be double safe.
Yeah, but I'm just making sure the accelerant and all of the flammable shit is right on his unconscious body.
Yeah.
I'll give him a couple of slashes with the knife across it just to make sure it looks like he's been fucked up. Wipe the knife down, leave it right next to him, and flick a match at him. Bye.
Okay. Well, you've made a pretty fast and furious bonfire in the middle of this somewhat secluded area. I mean, it is quite a big area to like set fire to something, and it's going to be 10, 15, 20 minutes before someone like calls the police, and by then it'll probably be burnt out anyway. So it's remote enough while still being in an area where there's residential area. You can see on the map. So you're standing there like toasting your marshmallows.
We're just making sure it goes up. Once it's up, we turn around and look awesome as we walk away.
Yeah.
Without looking backwards.
Do I assume that you took all your stuff out of there?
Yes, I did mention that before we went to that. So don't start for me.
What about the finger? You did get the finger, yeah.
Of course I mentioned digit. And
Did you?
I'd rather him called digit from now on. He associates a digit, not the finger.
I thought it was called Mea Carcetti.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
It's little finger. Cool. All right, then. So, well done, boys. Shame. He gone.
Well, that's one. That is
what
one.
is he doing, by the way?
Can you both roll me a sand, please, for violence?
No.
Yeah, you bloody well can.
I refuse to lose 10 on violence. It's done me so well.
Oh shit! You may be a cold-hearted bastard, but you're not immune to like the effects of torturing an innocent person.
Innocent, my ass. He made a mug of us.
He was innocent. He was. I knew it. He knew.
Shut
Fuck
your
all.
mouth.
He knew. Fuck all. He was a prat.
It doesn't matter if we do fuck all. We made us look like mugs. That's not innocent.
He was just trying to make a comeback for himself.
He can have his comeback off his mother's teeth.
Your impulses are brutal, but you're not immune to the effect of carrying out those impulses. So you're going to roll me 1d8. 1d8, which is quite high. You might roll quite low though. So
I doubt it.
there we go. No harm done. That is brutal, man. Yeah, okay, cool. And Frankie, you're okay. Right.
A knife. It's sad about that.
But that's the plant, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Should we go get a drink? We've got an hour to kill.
No, we've got to be somewhere in an hour. We're now without vehicular transport.
Oh, that ain't
You're not far away from the police. If you're not far away from whatever road it is, you could ask
the closest working vehicle and steal it.
You could ask the. You could somewhat. Yeah, you're not far away from Silvercrest or like the 119th place, which is where you've got like Sally, Harry, Barry, or Larry. I'm not sure who's on shift. Who could run you over? You could walk over there, and they could run you over.
Yeah, that seems like the smartest idea.
Well, no, it could be all right because we could show up in a police car, and he was a bit worried about who we were and how we were connected.
Yeah.
So if we show up in a police car, I mean, I can steal one.
I think we just walk over.
You could steal one. Yeah.
We could also ask about any more missing pets.
Yeah, that's true. Was it Barry that was on the pet thing?
It was Barry and Larry who were on days.
Yeah.
It was Sally who gave you the information after following up some after being approached by some people in the neighbourhood on her evening shift. So you wander up there, and Barry and Larry are there.
Look out for any mutated birds because we're quite close to where shit's going down.
So you're on the outs. There's a cordon. So the roads are barriered off at the entrances into that street. You know that orange line that I put around. The roads are barriered off around there, and Barry and Larry are like doing walks around the inner kind of block with the tent in the centre. Are you just wandering in just to go and find them? There's no trick. There's no trick involved. I just don't want to like preempt what you're doing. So if you just wander in and they're there. They like greet you. They say hi.
Officer Larry, Officer Barry, how's it going?
Yeah, fine.
How's the search for the missing dog?
Well, there's a few missing animals now, and
yeah, I know, but I personally told you about one. How's that going?
Yeah, not so well, I'm afraid.
Didn't think so. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I mean, I'd step back from that a little bit if I was you guys. Just made sure that the quarantine's still in place.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not moving until you guys say so.
Good.
Some of the neighbours are getting a bit restless, but they're okay. We're making sure that they get deliveries and whatever they need, if they need medicines and bits and pieces, but we're making sure that they stay within the cordon.
Maybe suggest to them that if they go outside and clap like every evening, that they'll feel better about being locked in their house.
That might help. So it's a proven tactic worked in other countries.
Yeah, do you know what, guys? That is a good idea. Like Barry looks at Larry, and Larry's like, yeah.
Yeah. So let's start clapping, shall we, guys?
There's a superb idea. So anyway, boys, you stink. You smell.
Smell?
Anywhere nice? Yeah, you smell of smoke. Man.
So we
smell of smoke. What you talking about, Willis?
No, that's not smoke. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a bit offensive, really. I don't know.
You want to lift?
As I light up and blow it in the face. What do you mean, smell of smoke? Years ago.
I'm joking. You would have known you were smelling the smoke. That would have been too easy.
Yeah, we'd like a lift if that's at all possible.
Yeah, sure. Shall I get one of the squad cars to come round from the outside, and we'll stay here? I'll just radio it in. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
We can't really take you ourselves. We've got to stay here.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I understand that.
So
I'm holding digit this entire time. If Larry and Barry are digitized.
Yeah. So very quickly, a car driven by a single officer. It's Officer Eldred. P. Eldred on the name badge. Middle-aged guy, African American. Pops the door open for you. Jump in, boys.
Jump in.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing untoward. And you're on your way. So whereabouts you going?
Didn't we tell him to meet us at the bar?
Doss's Calf.
Oh no, that was it. Doss's Calf.
So he gets on his radio. POB. He said, "Oh, that's about 15 minutes away. Is that right, boys? I'll put the old lights on for a bit of fun, shall I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, help yourself, mate.
Okay. So he.
Help yourself.
I get really comfortable in the back as if I've been there before. Stop playing with bits of felt coming off the top.
Can you roll me an alertness, please?
No.
I want you to know if you hear something.
It's a digit.
Christ. And Shogun gets a crit as well. That might be interesting.
Turns out his feet are at the bottom of the car and he's running along.
more interesting than that. So Peter Eldred is not all that interesting himself, but his squad radio is very interesting to you. There's a lot of garbled kind of squawking, and this is what you hear. Suspected shooting. Evelyn Wells. South. Mill Creek restaurant. That's it. And then the squawking goes on to other bits and pieces. Peter's not responding to this. This isn't his gig. He's just got it on squawk mode.
Hey, Pete. You not think that's quite an interesting call for around here?
Which one, sir?
Was it Evelyn Wells shooting South Mill Creek restaurant?
It's you talking what? Are you talking about the one on the radio? Was that?
You get a lot of shootings around here?
No, not at all, really.
No, I didn't think so. Do you want to swing past there on the way? Is that far?
We can do. Let me just. I don't know. I mean, it was something that was called in maybe an hour or so ago, maybe a couple of hours ago. There's a lot. There's a lot going on, but we're not looking after that. Hang on. So he gets on the radio. He's like, got a CDC and SCI. Just want to attend site. Can I have a address access to site, please? And the response back is Cadoba, South Mill Creek, which you reckon you remember that there was a restaurant called Cadoba down by quite reasonably near the police station, that kind of area where there's a police station, hospital, all in that one area. Let me remind you. So he takes a bit of a detour. It's not too far from where you are. Gets on the highway, puts his lights on, and asks you, "Hey, are you working on this case? Are you?"
Well, we're working on a case. It may be pertinent. We'll find out. Hawkins, seeing as this is your sort of jurisdiction, homicide and shit, maybe you want to jump out and have a look here while I go and speak to our friend from the agency. Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea.
So after about 15 minutes, you come to a road off the S. Are you on this? Or did I put you on here? Let me have a look. Yeah, I did, yes. So just about here. Can you see that? Just about here, right at the bottom of the map. Just there. Okay. Very much just south. It doesn't matter too much.
Oh, yeah, got it. Under the Roberta Kane thing.
Correct. There is a... I don't know whether I put that on there. You pull up outside there's a lot of lights. There's the whole front of the restaurant has been barriered off, and the front window shattered, and it's empty. And there's no ambulance there, but there's a couple of police cars, and there's policemen inside what is now an empty glass-fronted restaurant. Let me show you. This image might kind of paint a picture better than me doing it, if I can do it properly.
Cadoba.
It's that kind of vibe to it. It's a chain. You're well aware of Cadoba. Seats about 30 to 50, and there's officers in there attending site. So you pull up on the road outside, and the restaurant is taped off, and there's a couple of guarding officers, and then there's probably about 4 officers inside the restaurant. It's what time is it? It is 2:30 p.m.
So I'm going to get out of the car, and
Yeah.
I'm going to say to Pat, I'll call you when I'm done here, find out where you are, and we'll meet up. I guess we're probably going to fly out this evening.
Okay, no problem. I'll go and meet our friend from the agency. You get this done.
Just run that past me again, Frankie.
So I'm going to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
Pat is going
to carry on.
Yeah, Pat is going to go and meet Barton. Or is it Barton or Burton?
Belton. Ted Belton, yeah.
He's going to go and meet Belton. We're going to rendezvous after that and probably organise a flight out to head towards the crash site, Washington.
Okay, so I will leave this in your capable hands, and bye.
Bye. David.
So I am going to approach the cordon.
Yep.
Seek out the first officer I can, and flash them the FBI badge.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. They ask you to hold where you are, and they shout for Emily Dunser, who you've met before. Who's a detective, a female detective who is on the scene with her evidence team.
Oh, Detective Dunser.
Yeah, she kind of looks up and she's got a mask on and a paper suit, and she comes over and says hi and how you doing? Yeah, we're a bit busy. It's all go this week. Are you well? Are you here for this investigation now? Are you or?
I'm trying to follow up a lead, but it looks like it might now be a dead end.
Right. Is it related to what's going on here? So, talk to me.
So, what's the name of the Vic?
Evelyn Wells.
I'm trying to speak to her.
She's over in. She's stable, and she's over at the Swedish.
She's stable. So this isn't a murder, then. This is.
No, she. It looks like, and it's difficult to tell. It looks like she was shot at, and for whatever reason, according to eyewitnesses, possibly shot at from over the other side of the road. For whatever reason, she looked like she ducked down or moved at the last minute, and I think she was very, very lucky, but she's been, for what I understand, she's been put in a induced, and she's seriously injured.
Well, they've got her in a coma right now.
Yeah, just to help her because she's in such a bad state. So this happened maybe 12:30 today. Difficult to put an exact stamp on it. And I've been here for the last hour or so, just kind of looking through, seeing what there is on site. Like I said, there isn't much from the any eyewitnesses, and we're just scouring like the restaurant for any remnants of shells or anything like that, anything we can use, the usual kind of shit. It's all a little bit odd. There doesn't appear to be any kind of motive of theft. This is a long range attempted shooting. We don't really have much else to go on, to be honest.
I want to glance over my shoulder, sort of out the window. Is there an obvious place where, if I was going to try and be a sniper, is there like a clock tower overlooking the restaurant? Like, is there an obvious high vantage point?
You look. Apparently, the witnesses that were in the restaurant didn't see any shooters. Potentially, there was a car outside, like maybe a grey sedan of some sort, but like no.
Are there any bullet holes in the building that I can see?
We think it came through the window because it's taken out the window. We don't think that was any kind of secondary effect.
But are there any, what I'm looking for is actual bullet holes. Like, are there any bullet holes in the building that I can see?
None of that. We haven't seen any. You're quite welcome to like get dressed and look around, but we've not seen any others than the bullet that destroyed the upper humerus, I think it was. When she like,
Listen, there's nothing funny about attempted murder.
You've been waiting like 9 sessions to crack that joke, haven't you, dude? Well done. It's perfect. Oh my. It was certainly a high-powered rifle. We do know that because of what happened. Even though this was, to all intents and purposes, a glancing blow, it took her out quite a bit. Her arm was saved.
And you think it was from a car?
We don't know, but the eyewitnesses suggest that a grey sedan pulled up. There was a flash bang, and then a grey sedan was off.
What about cameras on the street?
There's nothing in the. We've checked the exterior cameras, which are in the back. You're quite welcome to look. And there's nothing much going on.
What about traffic cameras, adjacent buildings?
We don't have access to traffic cameras and those, so those are run by the city council. We can put a request in, but it takes like days to get that shit, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest you put that request in anyway. I'm sure you would.
We put an APB out onto the grey sedan, but that's so broad. We're looking for anything suspicious on that. Our police are a little bit stretched at the moment.
So, Detective Bunzer, how about I take your number? I'm looking into a few things at the moment, and there's every possibility that I might come across something that'll be useful to you. So, why don't I take your number down, and maybe I'll call you with a bit of information and help you out, or maybe you could help me out.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Anything we can do to help cross investigations, for sure.
So I'll take down Dunce's number.
The witnesses did say that despite Miss Wells's injuries, she did take cover and shouted for other people to take cover as well. The witnesses suggested there were muzzle flashes from the car on the other side of the road, the grey sedan, but you know what these things are like. We've had the incident with the mall that just seems fishy. We've had the incident here, which seems a little bit professional as well. We're very stretched in terms of our investigation teams. We don't really have the expertise to follow up on these kind of crimes. If it was a smash and grab, or if it was a theft or something, we'd have shots of the person doing the theft. We're just struggling for any evidence, struggling for anything to go on at the moment. So anything you can do to help, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Can you tell me what ward she's in?
I can do. And she looks around and she says, "Can I text you the details? Because we're worried that maybe something weird's going on. So I'd rather not say it out in the open."
Yep, that's not a problem.
So she messages the ward that she's in Swedish.
I don't speak Swedish. Could you message me that in English?
You've been waiting for that one too, haven't you?
Game over, guys.
Right, I'm going to I'm going to get myself an Uber or whatever the equivalent is to the Swedish.
Sure. Okay. Fun and games. Fun and games in Mill Creek, in sleepy Mill Creek. Pat, you back in the room.
Well.
So you're driving over to... Actually, you're taking a lift back over to Dossers. While you're on the way over there, you get a phone call.
On which phone?
Oh, wait, hang on. I just realised.
Oh,
I
who's got the phone?
I would have phoned him as soon as I was in the Uber to say, fucking Wells has been whacked. Someone's tried to rub Wells out.
Pat, are you going to let Frank do that?
What?
So Dave, you're phoning Ted Belton, or are you phoning Pat?
No, I'm phoning Pat to say, look,
Okay.
Wells, it was Wells. Someone tried to assassinate her. I'm on my way to go and see her now at the Swedish. Wells.
Wells?
Yeah, the third detective. Right, Dino, Barron, and Wells.
Ah, okay, cool. It makes sense to the guy.
Okay, cool. She was fucking. They attempted to assassinate her, man.
Listen, man, they're ex-military motherfuckers. They're up to something. It's all right. I got my gun now. This motherfucker ain't nothing.
All right, well, just a heads up. You could be walking into something.
Could be. It's all right. I got Digit, and I hold Digit up to the phone and shake him a little bit so he can hear.
Okay, well, yeah, good luck with that.
Shh, America, get you shush.
Okay.
All right, cool. Cheers for letting us know. I'll give you a heads up of what happens with me and this other fucker.
Okay. Beautiful. So your lift pulls up with its blues and twos flashing outside Dossers.
I say, hey, Pete, turn the lights off. We're here now. Do you mind waiting around 10-15 minutes to make sure everything's all right?
Yeah, no problem, boss. No problem.
Sweet. I get. Did you say my phone rang with another call, or was that just that one?
It was with another call.
Do you want to do that before I get further on?
Yes, I do, because it is useful for you not wasting your time. It's Ted. Did you swap numbers? Oh, you called him, didn't you? Of course you did. So he has your number. Yeah, it's all right.
Mr. Bark.
Mr. Bark gave you Ted's number, and you called Ted Belton. And Ted Belton is calling you back. Right. Ted Belton. Hi, Ted. Is that the officer CDC dude? Can't remember your name.
CDC dude, yes.
I'm not at the cafe.
I can see that. I've just shown up. What's going on?
I've had a bit of an emergency and I've had to skip out. I'm afraid. Do you want to reschedule, or do you want to do?
Can do. When would be present for you? Just remind me, the car you're driving's grey, right?
No, I've got a blue Mazda.
Okay, cool.
Why'd you ask?
Oh, no. Sorry, I just get so many cars in this investigation. You know how it's going. You must understand.
You asked about
a gold one. That was it. Gold.
A gold one. That was Evelyn. Evelyn has a gold car. If that's of use to you.
That is of use.
I don't know.
Can I just ask how you're on terms with your partners at the firm?
Working relationship with Evelyn and any contractors we use, and
you're ex-military, right, sir?
You can hear us driving. Well, yeah, I've served my time. Yeah, you too. You kind of got you got a way around you.
No, believe it or not, around the family, everyone in the family apart from me, I ended up on one of these side of the things. You know how it goes. Yeah.
Do you want me to let you know when I'm free?
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Cool. Okay, just leave it with me then.
All right. Bye.
Puts the phone down.
All right. Ring back my man Frank, my man Dave. Dave.
Hello?
Dive. What dive? Dive.
Oh, Dave, get on the phone, get on the bloody old mate. You know, the one that's in charge. We want to see if we can get some GPS tracking on some of the phone numbers that we've acquired.
Which numbers?
Well, this geezer Ted, who drives a blue Mazda. So if that helps, if this phone number's connected to a GPS in a blue Mazda, if the phone's dead.
Are you meeting Ted right now?
No, he's done a runner.
Yeah, well, he's probably at the Swedish, isn't he? Because his partner's just been shot.
Well, then you'll find out in a minute. But I don't think I've got a funny feeling that these are not friends anymore.
What's give you that?
I don't know. He's a bit of a wanker.
I mean, I've just got this horrible feeling you may have just leapt to a massive conclusion.
Really, that a military agency has used a military-grade rifle to shoot through the front of a restaurant, including the depth of glass, which would have cut a billet curve.
No.
And that their fucking building is burnt down. I mean, the last one I talked to is the retiree. And I mean, I can head there now, but I think you'll be looking at some kind of problem. Oh, yeah, by the way, the gold car that was outside Mr. Postle Cunt's, that belonged to your Evelyn Wells.
Yeah, so obviously someone's trying to rub them out, right? They were looking into Tearbalt for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Or one of them was. I don't think that they're all working on the same page.
Why don't you go and speak to the old boy? I'm on my way to the hospital now.
Pete, stick on the sirens. And I jump in the back of the car.
Don't hold the horses, Squire.
Like, get on the blower. Wait, before you put them sirens on, just the lights. Get on the blower, ring old Dino.
Okay. It rings. It rings. It rings. It goes to answer machine. And you've got a network answer. You know, those annoying things. Like I think my phone's like it. It's like, hello, welcome to Gift Gaff. Welcome to Gift Gaff. If you'd like to leave a message, it's like, yeah, it's one of those.
If you want to stand on the left, you'd be dick. All right, cool. Oi, Pete, do us a favour, sticking these names into.
Do you leave a voicemail message?
No.
You don't.
Cut them both off. Don't ever leave a voicemail message. Worst thing you can ever do. So if they don't want to answer the phone, they never will. Right, Pete, my main man, Mr. Eldritch.
Yep.
Stick this into your what they called? Shit.
GPS?
No, you fucking police console.
Yeah.
Stick it in the console anyway. I want
Stick it in the console. Right.
So Dino, and I also want the car registrations for Mr. Bar. What's his name? Belton.
So you want a
Ted Belton. I want his last known address. I want his car registrations and any phone numbers you have for him. I also want that for the head of the firm, Dino. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, so he types these bits and pieces. He pulls over first. It's like, I wish I brought my partner with me now. He types his stuff into his center console. He said, "Oh, bear with me. I just got to get signal." And he says, "Okay, Aaron, is it Aaron or Aaron?" And he kind of gets his mobile phone out. And he says, this is a private detective agency guy. I heard you talking in the background."
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So
Come on, Pete. Keep up.
Is it Aaron or is it Aaron?
What is it?
You Google it. You Google it. And he says, "Oh yeah, okay. I've got an address here. Bear with me. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh. Okay, so they were all Mill Creek addresses. Aaron Dino, he's actually registered at 2 addresses. He's got a California address. He's got a Washington address as well. Or sorry, so he
So
gives
let's
you.
start with a Mill Creek one, Pete.
He's got a Mill Creek one. It's kind of 15 minutes from here. If you want to go there, yeah.
Yes, please, my man. Let's go.
And very quickly, Edward Belton. He gives you a registration number for that as well.
Cool. And his last known address, yeah?
Yeah, it gives you that as well.
Perfect.
They're both Mill Creek addresses. They're both both
They
live
work
locally.
here. I wouldn't be surprised they would.
Not crazy, but there are 2 addresses for Aaron. The first address you pull up to in about 10 minutes or so. Gated, nice big house. Potentially 5-6 bedroom place. In a slightly more well-to-do part of the district.
And he's got 2 other addresses, right?
One other address in on the coast of California, yeah.
Okay.
Just south of San Francisco.
Preliminary thoughts is something to do much higher up than his little shitty strip mall investigation. Ex-military, probably got the power to take out people involved in XYZ affairs. I think we found someone connected up to that Cayman bank account. Anyway, let's go have a look. Ding dong.
Your phone rings just as you press the button.
Which one?
Which phone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, your own phone.
My own phone. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
I forgot you got Case Suave's phone.
There's quite a,
I'm waiting for that to ring, mate. That's all kinds of shit going down.
There's quite a soft voice on the other end of the line. It's Dino's number that you called earlier. Hi, this is Aaron Dino. You call me. How can I help?
Hi, this is Agent Riggs, FBI, helping out the CDC. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. How can I help you, officer?
I understand you run a detective agency in Mill Creek, correct?
Yep. Yeah. Well, I own it. I mean, Ted and Evelyn have been running it. Really, I won't lie. I've been kind of pretty much retired now for a little while. So, but I did start it up 1999, pretty much. So.
Oh wow, long time. History in the military as well, sir.
A long time ago. I mean, I'm kind of. I came out of. I was in the military for a bit. Then I was in the police Seattle police force for a bit, and then in '92 I set up I started setting up a detective agency. But that aside, less of the small talk. How can I help you?
Could I ask your current location, sir?
Yes, I'm off the California coast at the moment, just doing a bit of fishing. At least I was. My phone's been off the hook for about
that explains a lot.
For about 2 days straight. To be honest, you'll know about the fire and.
Oh right, so you're aware of the fire that's happened in Mill Creek. Are you aware of anything else that's gone on in Mill Creek over the last couple of days?
Well, yeah, of course, as you are. Like today's tragic incident with Evelyn.
Oh, so you're aware of that. Your phone was off the hook and you was unable to speak to me, but you've run back with this information. That's not a problem, sir. Not a problem at all. When will you be back in Mill Creek?
I'm gonna have to cut all this short and get myself back in tomorrow, I guess.
Tomorrow. You wouldn't be around for a quick interview, just to expend some leads that we may have.
Yeah, whatever you want. It's all a bit of a shit show at the moment, isn't it? So.
Perfect. All right, I will give you a call on this number. Say tomorrow we'll work something out to speak soon. Okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll give you. What's your name again, officer?
Agent Riggs, FBI, helping CDC.
Right. Sorry, agent, not officer. I do apologise. Cool. Yeah, it's fine. In the meantime, have you got Ted's number? Belton. Ted
I
Belton.
have. I've spoke to Ted. Ted seemed a bit of a rush. Have you spoke to him at all?
Yeah, I've spoken to him many times over the last couple of days now.
Cool.
So
well, we've arranged some meeting with him too when he's free. Maybe we could get you in the same room at the same time if that's possible.
yeah, that's fine. Ted is kind of running like normal. He runs the show while I'm off doing my boring stuff. So
it must be a hard time for you, sir. You sound so distraught over the loss of one of your employees.
Loss, did you say?
Oh, I haven't met her yet.
Do you know what? It was my understanding that she was still alive, but in a critical condition.
Oh yes. Critical conditions always work out well. That's why you sound so happy. How was the fishing, by the way? Did you catch a big one?
Barely made it out today, to be honest.
I'm not surprised. There's a lot going on, right? Anyway, see you. Bye.
Okay.
Aren't you meant to be the people person?
Was there not people enough about that?
Yeah, it's right. You got. He entertained a conversation with you.
I want to send Pete on his way, and I want to use my skills. I got to break in his house.
Cool. Okay. This probably isn't too much of an issue for you. So there's a 7-foot gate. It's motorized. Digital access. It's a key pin. So you may be overly familiar with just hot wiring those anyway. I'm going to suggest that you are, and that's not even an issue for you. Particularly if the police car's sitting outside, I don't think you're going to draw much attention to yourself.
No, I sent Pete on his way.
Did you press the buzzer, by the way?
No, didn't even get there before the phone rang.
I thought you rang the bell when you got there.
No, they didn't even get there before the phone rang.
Oh, right, yeah.
Through the gate, you can see a short drive. You're looking through the gate. You can see a short drive. There's a couple of CCTV cameras, or like low quality, like home security cameras, pointing
so they have a
pointing
home office with a DVR in it. I'm just going to take the DVR once you get in, so that there's no issue.
Yeah, there's no real issue. There's nothing. Given that you got a police car outside, there's no real issue in you getting in, even if you want to just hoik over the fence. The front door, there is an alarm system on the front door. How do you want to approach getting in there, knowing that there's probably, you don't know for sure, probably an alarmed entry through the front door?
Well, depending on the tools that I would carry around.
Would you care?
I think so. At the moment, I don't want to be setting off a call centre, then something else, and something else. I literally want to get in. I want to get to the home office. Want to go through the files, see where the fucker's being paid from, and I also want to take his DVR so that the cameras are not an issue.
Okay. Do I want you to roll? I'm not going to make you roll to get access through the door. This is not a difficult door to get through. The door is not the security. It's more about the technology that's probably the security. So the door, you slide the door open or however you do it, and as it pops, you hear the single tone alert for deactivation.
Yeah.
Are you doing a smash and grab, or are you doing something? Are you going to try and?
Well, I'd probably try and do a bypass. No, I mean, simple home security bypass isn't too beyond my repertoire.
Not at all. How do I manage this?
I chew a piece of gum. I took it onto some foil, and I do the whole Beverly Hills thing.
That's literally all I want you to do. So you are going to pass it. I just want you to talk me through how you're going to do it. I'm not worried about it particularly.
And you hum the Beverly Hills thing.
I think also, even if there was a little bit of risk to not passing it, no one's gonna care. There's a police car standing outside anyway. So assuming that with time,
it's just I don't want to set off the monitoring company to obviously say that there was a breaking at this time.
It's actually quite a cheap system. And the interior of the house, it doesn't take you that long just to just like pop the front off and like pop a little kind of watch battery out, and then just to kind of like twist a couple of wires together. It's like it's old and cheap, but working. And the interior of the house is not that well furnished. It's a nice size house, but it's not like flamboyant or anything. I'm going to give you this. If you're specifically looking for CCTV and also anything else of interest, are you robbing the place as well?
No, it would be. I would guess some kind of internal office for his records of who's funding what and where. Because if you follow the money, that's where you get your big bads. And also just the DVR box, which I would think would be in the internal office.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it usually is.
The internal office doesn't have much going on, to be quite honest. There's not much in the way of paperwork. There is a laptop which you could take with you, or you could sit and piss around with if you like.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Most of the paperwork in the house is actually household bills and domestic bookkeeping.
And how is that looking? Is he flush or is he struggling?
There's money in the bank, but it doesn't appear to be like hundreds of thousands or like in ridiculous amounts. It looks like there's a reasonable pension fund, which you can see coming from. There's no pension fund coming from military. Maybe to you suggests he didn't spend long enough in the military. But there is a pension. But there is a pension fund from the Seattle Police Department.
So his investigatory attributes have done him enough to buy a 5-bedroom house in a gated community.
The house is gated. It's not in a gated community.
Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. But it's the big ass house in a nice-ish area.
There's reference to a wife, and there's reference to a couple of kids as well, and there's a reference to a wife's pension, which is two personal pension plans, which are not modest. They're reasonable, and they are from aeronautical companies. So it suggests that maybe the wife was had a professional jobs previously or something.
So there's nothing connecting that to us, like the profession that she was in wasn't doctor or lab technician or anything like that.
Nothing you can see. You could grab it all. You could grab it all again and take it with you.
Yeah, I'm going to take as much as I can, and also going to take some of some of the fucking valuables, some gold, whatever, just to make it look like it was a smash and grab. Take some of the laptops, the gaming consoles, whatever, just a bag full of valuables to make it look like it was someone that was robbing the house for valuables.
Fine. We'll work out the loot at the end of the session.
The loot's not too important. I just mean just making it look like
it was ransacked.
Yeah.
Cool. And there's not, to be honest, there's not much. This is pretty straightforward for you. There's not much paperwork. It's all pretty boring stuff anyway, and it suggests that most of his bookkeeping is probably on his laptop anyway, because there's just kind of there's no accountancy going on in the paperwork.
One more thing is the obvious search for, as I do in all houses, the search for a hidden fucking safe in one room.
Okay.
As is popular in America.
As is popular, you are going to this. Whether you find anything will depend on how long you want to spend here. So you've spent only about an hour, really, kind of like getting the bits and pieces getting access and getting the bits and pieces that you initially need. Do you want to, which will take you up to about 4. So do you want to spend any longer now, kind of like doing a deep dive of his property?
Just a quick scan, as is one with the cat burglar, to see if there is a hidden safe, a safe behind a bookshelf, under a bed, something like that. Quick scan on the way out. If there is, then obviously spend some time opening it up. If not, hola.
Okay. There, you do not find anything in the half an hour or so that you give yourself to just kind of like tap, 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 move, shuffle, throw over, like turn things over, generally kind of trash the place a little bit in the investigation. It's 4:30. You've got a few bits and pieces. You can spend longer there if you want.
No. That's it. Off we go. I'm done. I'm going to go meet him at the Swedish.
The Swedish.
Well, depending on where he is, I'll ring him as I come out.
David is at the what do we call it? The restaurant, Cordoba, the Mexican chain, and it's say 3:00 still. So you'd had a conversation with Detective Dunster. You'd both agreed to work together if there's any connections between your investigations. There's no federal involvement at the moment, but it's given that it's an attempt. Looks like an attempted murder. It might be escalated. You don't know, but Dunster is appreciative that any help that she might need in terms of expertise that might help her. And similarly, I think you'd appreciate any kind of leads from site as well.
So Dunster told me what ward Wells was in, didn't she?
Correct, yeah.
So I had called myself an Uber to head to the Swedish.
You're an Uber.
Yeah, and whilst in the Uber, I had phoned Pat to let him know that Wells had been subject of an assassination attempt.
Correct, yeah. So you get to the Swedish at 3:30. No, you don't. Yeah, you do. 3:30. And you make your way to the ward, Ward J, on the 3rd floor. Now, the ward is atypical. You've got it's not a reception desk, but you've got a desk where one of the nurses sits at for meeting, greeting, IDing, doing her admin. And she has explained that this is when you rock up, you can see this is slightly higher security in that the areas for treatment are doored. They're not screened or anything, and there's no windows into the area. So it looks like more of a private, more secure area of the hospital. You're at the desk. There's a nurse at the desk. Hi, sir. How can I help?
Hi there. I've come to see a patient. What was her first name? What was it? Keeper. What the fuck was her first name?
Evelyn
Yeah.
Wells.
Yeah, I'm here to see a patient, Evelyn Wells.
I may as well put her up on the old. I may as well put her on the murder board. Boink. Hello. There we go. The nurse looks at you and looks over to a gentleman 2 doors down, who's eyeballing you. And the gentleman shakes his head at the nurse, like as in, nope. Ain't gonna happen.
Shut up, Ted, and let us in.
So what the nurse? What did the nurse say to me then?
At that point, the nurse says, "I'm told that they're not accepting any visitors at the moment."
That's okay. I completely understand. So I'm going to step away from her and approach the gentleman who just denied me access.
He puts his hand out and says, "Just stay right there, sir."
Mind if I see some ID?
Well, I was going to ask you the same. Who are you? What are you?
Yeah, so I just asked you to show me some ID.
He puts his hand over his not so concealed now weapon, which is under his blazer.
Easy, buddy. Easy, buddy. Easy. I asked you for ID, not your firearm.
It's not you that asked me for ID, sir.
No, it is. Remember, I
Believe
walked
you
up
find
to
it is without the badge.
I walked up to you and I said to you, "How you doing?" And you said you can't come in here. And I said, "Can I see some ID?" So it definitely was me that said, "Can I see some ID?"
Why? Yeah. Why do you want to be going in here? He's still got his hand on his. He's unclipped, and he's got his arm out. He's going through the motions of someone who is
Okay, I'm going to reach my hand in.
well versed in keeping people at bay politely.
I'm going to reach.
Remember, David, you are of a certain ethnic background.
Yeah, that's why I'm
and
going to.
apparently
I'm going to
that
be
can
really
end
careful
really
about
badly in America.
I am going to reach into my jacket pocket and take out my ID. Is that okay?
Of course it is. We're at a hospital.
Okay, I'm going to
No one's going to get shot here.
reach very slowly into my pocket. I'm now holding my ID and I'm going to slowly withdraw it. Is that okay?
Yeah. Just cut to the chase, sir.
The ID is halfway out of my pocket now. May I continue to withdraw it?
He takes it from you. I assume you let him take it.
Yeah, I pass him the FBI badge.
Yeah. He takes a little breath, and he says, "I can't let you go in there, but come with me." And he beckons you down to the other end, just past the desk that you were at, and there's a couple of seats just out of the way.
I walk with.
Come. So he sits down and says, "Right, okay, you first." Oh, you want to see my ID? Well, I'm not going to give you any of my ID, but I'm Ted Belton. I'm a colleague of the patient who's in there at the moment.
Yeah, I know who you are. So, what's going on here?
Well, you tell me.
Well, someone's obviously trying to kill you guys, right?
Well, it appears that someone's been trying to. You'll forgive me. I've got a difficulty in trust at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm just saying, like, even the casual observer would note that your building was blown up with military-grade explosives. Your partner was shot with a high-powered rifle. It would appear that someone's trying to kill you at the moment.
I don't think they're trying to kill me. I think they're trying to kill Evelyn.
Yeah, and that's because Evelyn was looking into Theobald, right?
At that point, he softens. He looks up, looks you in the eye, and says, "Yeah, that's pretty much it. I had my own private suspicions about the attack, and
So
I know that she was working for some very high-paying clients, or client, I should say."
Who was she working for?
He kind of looks around and says, I'm worried that there's like so many ears and there's so many there's such threat on her life that just by talking about it, it's going to kind of get us both killed."
I pass him my notebook and a pencil.
He takes your pencil and he says, "Just so you know, I've hired some men. They're in the room with her. I know them really well. They're under my own employ. I just fear for her life. So don't go running in there like stupidly. Don't get your boys to run in there stupidly because they're ready for a fight in there." And he gets the pad and he
I would never do such a thing. Pat, just run in there really stupidly.
he writes down on his pad potential holdings. He doesn't, and then he goes on to say, I don't recall the address, but I do know it has to do with a retired geneticist. And I don't believe in coincidences.
Tybalt wasn't retired, was he? Seemed very active to me.
Look, my little detective agency seems to have stumbled into some sort of like strange operation, like well beyond our capabilities. I need to put an end to all this, and if you're serious about investigating it, I have got information on what she was working on, and I can share that with you.
I'm going to take the pad off him, and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't got a lot of time for investigating stuff. I'm kind of busy, but it's been nice talking with you. And then I'm going to write down, meet me at midnight at Steve's.
And he writes on the pad, I'll have everything you want.
I'm going to sort of like blow him a little air kiss quietly and then just walk away.
He goes back to standing outside the door. So, Dave, you've wandered out. It's kind of 4:15-ish, and you're waiting outside the hospital, and Pat.
Busting up. Hey, look what I got! Holding all of my loot.
What have you stolen? What is it?
A couple of laptops, some paper, PS4.
I was more about the car playing Colonel Bogey more than anything.
Yeah, and a bronze statue of like General Lee. Yay! Winning! Right.
Yeah. So something's going on. They know about Potentia.
I think something going on, or maybe a better word for it: the plot thickens.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end our episode here, and you will find out next time exactly how we fuck it up. And if that burning body comes back to haunt us, one way or the other, we'll get somewhere.
Oh, shit.
Say bye, everybody.
Au revoir.
Toodle pip. Bye.
Blah, 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 blah.